On March 12, 2026, Euphoria series composer Labyrinth dropped a bomb on Instagram. "I'm done with this industry. Columbia, double Euphoria, I'm out. Thank you and good night." He isn't alone in his feelings toward the show, which heads into its third and likely final season on April 12th. Euphoria was always going to be controversial. By the opening credits of its second episode, viewers had seen more bare body parts than the landing page of an 18 and over website. After its premiere, an HBO insider told The Hollywood Reporter that it's not for everyone, while Sam Levinson, the show's creator and sole writer, with the exception of a single season 1 special episode, claimed there are going to be parents who are going to be totally freaked out.
If we're pulling our punches and we're not showing the relief that drugs can bring, it starts to lose its impact.
He was right. Euphoria was a no-holds-barred look at teen life in the age of social media. Although an adaptation of an Israeli miniseries of the same name, Levinson had written the first season based on his own experience growing up and struggling with addiction. He leaves little to the imagination, but for some who worked on the series, more should have been. Multiple women from the show have spoken about the gratuitousness of it all. In 2022, Sydney Sweeney told The Independent that she had reservations about her character Cassie's unnecessary lack of clothing in several scenes, although she was quick to say that she didn't get any pushback from Levinson when she brought up her concerns. According to her, "I would tell Sam, I don't really think that's necessary here. When I didn't want to do it, he didn't make me." Chloe Cherry, who plays drug addict Faye in the second season, told the Daily Beast that Levinson wanted her to be completely bare for the first scene she ever filmed. Her scene partner Tyler Chase helped convince him to change it. Minka Kelly, another season 2 addition, told Vanity Fair that her character had also been written to drop her dress first thing. And Martha Kelly, season 2's drug lord Lori, told Variety that she had reservations about a scene she shot with Zendaya in a bathtub, approaching this gross pedophilia vibe. While these actors were all adamant that Levinson listened to their concerns and adjusted accordingly, not everyone who worked with him seemed to feel the same way. In the neon haze of Euphoria's drug and love-obsessed teens, Barbie Ferreira's Kat was a breath of fresh air during the show's first season. Seeing the typically sidelined fat best friend begin to come into her own was, for many, a highlight. And then season 2 happened, and Kat became a typically sidelined fat best friend. And it wasn't just that her storyline had been minimalized, the scenes she did have were kind of weird.
I have a brain disorder.
The character's lack of growth, or really any scenes of significance, sparked rumors that something was going on behind the scenes between Ferreira and Levinson. When Ferreira opted not to join the rest of the cast for the premiere, those rumors only intensified. Ferreira apparently had a problem with where Levinson wanted to take Kat. Online chatter speculated that he'd originally wanted to give her an eating disorder, which Ferreira pushed back against. The Daily Beast reported that Ferreira walked off set as a result of their disagreements, something she has repeatedly denied.
I never, walked off set. There was never anything like that. That was, a whole thing. She, I did all this. And I was like, I absolutely never did that.
At first, Ferreira stayed pretty neutral about her character. She told The Cut in February 2022, "Kat's journey this season is a little more internal and a little mysterious to the audience. She's secretly going through a lot of existential crises." But in August, she shocked fans by announcing that she would not be returning for season 3, posting on Instagram, "After 4 years of getting to embody the most special and enigmatic character Kat, I'm having to say a very teary-eyed goodbye." In 2024, Ferreira appeared on Armchair Expert and explained that her leaving had been a mutual decision.
I don't think there was a place for her to go. I think that there were places she could go. I just don't think it would have fit into the show. I don't know if it was going to do her justice.
Algie Smith, who played football player and Cassie's on-off boyfriend McKay, also saw his storyline diminished. At the end of season 1, McKay was left questioning his future as an athlete and struggling with his relationship with Cassie, who just terminated an unplanned pregnancy. He appeared briefly at the beginning of season 2 to cement their breakup and then disappeared forever. For Smith, the downgrade was just as confusing as it was for fans of the show. He told the Daily Beast that he had no idea what the plan was for his character, saying, "I think that's a question we have to ask our creator Levinson, where he sees it going. We haven't even gotten that far in the conversation, him and myself on this, actually." Smith's exit further highlighted one of the biggest issues critics have had with the series, its lack of diversity, particularly in its writing. With Levinson as the show's only voice, although several actors, including Smith, have said in interviews that they actively collaborated with him on their characters, there's a limit to the authenticity.
I feel like I'm watching a version of myself navigating the world at a young age.
It isn't just the writing itself that's been an issue. Levinson is known to rewrite his scripts countless times. During a roundtable at the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures, he said he writes hundreds of drafts, starting from memory each time. The Daily Beast reported that production was often messy, with workdays going as long as 17 hours, while Levinson rarely had a shot list. The New Year's Eve party scene in Season 2's opening episode took over a week to film, according to the cast. Maud Apatow, who plays Lexi, told Thrillist, "We shot all night, so we would start at 6 p.m. and go until whenever the sun would rise, 5 a.m., and we were so tired." Jacob Elordi, who plays Nate, likened it to being in hell. In 2023, Rolling Stone did a deep dive into the problems that plagued Levinson's failure of a follow-up series, The Idol, and placed much of the blame on the creator himself. Levinson was criticized for overhauling the show's original, more feminist angle in favor of disturbing sexual content and bare bodies. It echoed the criticism he'd been receiving for Euphoria's adult content since its start. Euphoria wouldn't be what it is without Zendaya. Her portrayal of Rue, the show's central character upon which Levinson based his own experience with addiction, landed her 2 lead actress Emmys. When the series began, she and Levinson became extremely close.
This show can't be written by anyone else because it's so personal.
They even collaborated on 2021's Malcolm and Marie together, with both acting as producers. But The Hollywood Reporter spoke with several sources who claimed that Levinson's decision to focus his attention on The Idol and take his attention away from Euphoria began to breed resentment with Zendaya. More than 2 years after Season 2 aired, Levinson still didn't have scripts ready for Season 3, and Zendaya reportedly requested a meeting with then HBO head of programming Casey Bloys and head of drama Francesca Orsi. When Rolling Stone ran its Idol story, Zendaya took another step back from Levinson. But according to a source close to Levinson, it was Zendaya's desire to focus on her career outside of Euphoria that was responsible for the rift. Levinson wasn't the only person Zendaya would distance herself from. At the end of 2025, rumors began that she and Sydney Sweeney were feuding. The Daily Mail reported that Zendaya was refusing to do press alongside Sweeney because of the latter's alleged conservative political views. When the show dropped a behind-the-scenes reel in March 2026, Sweeney was nowhere to be found in a photoshoot portion that featured all of its female leads. A source told TMZ that her absence was due to shooting a scene elsewhere at the time, and that the feud is BS. Neither Zendaya nor Sweeney have directly addressed the rumors.
Is it true we're going to have to wait until 2024 for Season 3?
I think that might be true.
Really?
I honestly don't know. There's some executives that know better than me. You might want to ask them.
Euphoria's second season aired its finale in February 2022, at which point HBO announced that it had been renewed for a 3rd season. It would take 4 years to make that happen, though. Originally expected to air in 2024, the show was hit with numerous delays, beginning with Levinson's shift in focus to The Idol in 2022. But there were other factors at play as well. Euphoria launched the careers of several of its stars. Zendaya became one of the most in-demand actors in the industry, with leading roles in Dune, Challengers, and Spider-Man. Elordi is also on a huge career upswing with Saltburn, Priscilla, and Wuthering Heights. His role in Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein landed him an Oscar nomination. Sweeney has been working nonstop with roles in The White Lotus, Anyone But You, and The Housemaid. And when Hunter Schafer, Euphoria's Jules, isn't busy with her modeling career, she's appearing in films like Cuckoo and Kinds of Kindness. In 2023, both the Writers Guild of America and SAG-AFTRA went on strike, pushing production on the series even further behind. Then came the devastating death of Angus Cloud, the show's drug dealer with a heart of gold, Fezco, of an accidental overdose in July of that year.
Obviously, I'm still coming to qualms with what's happened.
By November 2023, production still hadn't begun, and there was talk that a 3rd season had been scrapped entirely. The show also lost one of its producers and Levinson's former business partner, Kevin Turin, to a heart attack at 44. The pair's relationship had soured shortly before Turin's death. In March 2024, with still no Season 3 in sight, a spokesperson for HBO told Variety, HBO and Sam Levinson remain committed to making an exceptional 3rd season. In the interim, we are allowing our in-demand cast to pursue other opportunities. At that point, scripts were still being written.
Do we know when that's starting to film again? Or
I don't know. Do you know? I hope it's soon, otherwise it's going to be like, then I have to Benjamin Button me or something.
Coleman Domingo, who plays Ali, told GQ the month prior that he believed the delay came down to Levinson's extensive rewriting process, saying, "He's responding immediately to what the ills of the world are. I know that the one thing I can tell you is that he's very much interested in the existential question of who we are right now, our souls. That's what he wants to figure out with Season 3. In December 2024, HBO confirmed that Euphoria would come back in 2026. It features a 5-year time jump, which Levinson told The Hollywood Reporter in March 2026 gave him a real sense of freedom, saying, "Now that we're out of high school, the scope of the universe could be as big as I always dreamt it to be." Arguably, the biggest beef people have had with Euphoria is its tendency to put style and shock over actual substance. There's an argument that can be made that its level of gratuitous excess is meant to push its viewers into uncomfortable territory because those situations are uncomfortable and they exist in the real world. Casey Bloys told The Hollywood Reporter in 2019 that it's not sensational to be sensational, but critics are split on that. Where exactly is the line when it seems like a single character is being used to play out every toxic male fantasy there is? One season can maybe be excused, but dragging out the same themes over another 8 episodes has been tiring.
If season 1 was sort of a house party at 2 a.m., season 2 should feel like 5 a.m., way past the point in which everyone should have gone home.
And while much of the show's adult themes do in fact shine a light on the very real struggles teens face today, there are still plenty of moments where it feels like it is actually sensational to be sensational. Feminist writer Jessica Valenti pointed out in 2022 that having 25-year-olds play 16 and 17-year-olds makes it easier for adults to sexualize them, and wrote, "Euphoria's ability to feature nuanced depictions of certain issues make the sexualization that much more disappointing and obvious. In fact, it feels as if Euphoria's progressive lean is being used as cover for its run-of-the-mill objectification." But putting aside the perceived objectification from some critics, there's also a problem with the characters themselves. Why have development when you can just throw in a cool shot instead? Nate in particular has been used as an example of Levinson's struggle to portray real nuance, depth, and growth in his characters, especially throughout the show's second season. Rolling Stone's Alan Sepinwall wrote, "Nate himself is such a caricatured assembly of cliches that it becomes hard to take any scene with him seriously. And it plays as unintentionally silly whenever the show attempts to humanize him, in spite of all the evil things he continues to do." With Ferreira's exit at the end of season 2, Refinery 29's Catherine Singh claimed Euphoria had long since peaked, writing, "What started out as a TV juggernaut, a premium example of prestige television, has quickly become a case study in the shelf life of a hit TV show, and what can happen when a good thing goes very, very bad. It looks gorgeous and is set to an incredible soundtrack, but is there really much substance underneath all that style? Without the trauma, the violence, and the NC-17 ratedness of it all, many now see Euphoria as a pretty shallow series well past its expiration date. Maybe it's time to start following Labyrinth's lead."